was a time when colonial powers were expanding their territories, and Southeast Asia, with its wealth of resources, was a prime target. And within this geopolitical play, Battambang City held a key role. Battambang, the second largest city in Cambodia, was more than just a city to the French. It was a gateway. Strategically nestled along the Sankey River, the city was a lifeline, a conduit for the French to tap into the rich resources of the region. The river played a crucial role, serving as a major route for the transportation of goods, people, and ideas. But Battambang was more than just a strategic location. It was a city with a rich cultural heritage, a melting pot of traditions and customs. The French saw the potential in this. They recognized the value of the city's cultural wealth, seeing it as an opportunity to introduce their own culture and influence the local populace. There was a lot at stake in Battambang: its strategic location, its cultural richness, its potential for growth. All these factors made it a prized possession for the French, and with the signing of the Treaty of Protection, they had officially claimed it. Thus began a period of immense change for Battambang, as it was moulded under the hands of its new rulers. The city was about to undergo a transformation, a metamorphosis under French rule that would forever change its landscape. But that's a story for another time. The French rulers, with their penchant for grandeur, began to leave their mark on Battambang. As the French colonial rule unfolded in Cambodia, so too did a period of architectural renaissance in Battambang. The city began to see a transformation in its cityscape, a metamorphosis that was as profound as it was visually stunning. The French, with their fondness for order and symmetry, introduced a brand new style of architecture to Battambang, one that was distinctly colonial. They incorporated elements of their own architectural traditions, blending them with local techniques and materials. This fusion of styles led to the birth of a distinctive architectural character, one that was uniquely Battambang. The city saw the rise of grand colonial-style buildings with their high ceilings, large windows, and spacious verandas. These structures, with their intricate detailing and elegant facades, stood in stark contrast to the traditional Cambodian architecture. The French's love for all things grandiose was evident in these edifices, with their elaborate ironwork, ornate cornices, and imposing columns. These colonial-style buildings were not just aesthetically pleasing, but were also practical. They were designed to withstand the tropical climate, with features such as wide verandas and tall windows that allowed for natural ventilation. Furthermore, the French also introduced modern infrastructure, such as paved roads and a sewage system, which greatly improved the living conditions in the city. But it wasn't just the grand buildings that bore the French imprint. Even the city's layout was transformed, with the introduction of a grid-like street pattern, a departure from the organic and haphazard layouts of traditional Cambodian cities. These architectural changes didn't just alter the city's physical appearance, they also had a profound impact on the city's identity, infusing it with a cosmopolitan flair that was uniquely its own. Battambang became a city that was Cambodian at heart, but with a distinct French touch. As we walk the streets of Battambang today, we can still see the influence of French architecture, a testament to this bygone era. While the French brought about visual changes to Battambang, their economic policies were a mixed bag for the locals. The French colonial rule marked a significant shift in the economic landscape of Battambang. One of their most notable contributions was the introduction of large-scale rubber plantations. Prior to the French arrival, the locals primarily engaged in subsistence farming. With the advent of rubber plantations, the city was catapulted into the global commodities market. The French saw the fertile lands of Battambang as an opportunity to tap into the burgeoning global demand for rubber. Locals were employed, and some even became wealthy landowners. However, this economic development was not without its drawbacks. The shift from subsistence farming to labor-intensive rubber farming meant longer hours and tougher working conditions for many. In addition to rubber, the French also exploited other local resources. Timber, particularly the highly prized rosewood, was extracted in vast quantities and shipped back to France. The fishing industry too was commercialized, with the rich waters of Sanka River and Tonle Sap Lake being heavily exploited. While these developments brought wealth and modernity to Battambang, they also caused significant social and environmental disruption. The locals had to adapt to new ways of working and living, often at the expense of their traditional lifestyle. The environment too bore the brunt of this economic exploitation, with deforestation and overfishing becoming major concerns. It's important to note that the French also invested in infrastructure, establishing roads, railways and ports to support their economic activities. These developments played a crucial role in connecting Battambang to the rest of the world, opening up new avenues for trade and cultural exchange. However, the economic benefits were unequally distributed, with the French and a small group of local elites reaping most of the profits. The majority of the population, while experiencing some improvements in living standards, remained largely impoverished. Battambang, once a self-sustaining city, was now deeply entwined in the global economy, for better or worse. The French didn't just change the look and economy of Battambang, they also left their mark on the city's culture. At the heart of this cultural transformation was the introduction of the French language. The colonial rulers made French the language of administration, education, and high society. This linguistic shift wasn't just about communication, it was a tool of power, a way to create a class of intermediaries between the French and the Cambodians. But the people of Battambang were not passive recipients of this cultural imposition. Many resisted, holding on to their Khmer language and traditions with fervour. Alongside language, French customs seeped into the social fabric of Battambang. French-style cafes and bakeries started popping up around the city, and French fashion found its way into the wardrobes of the Cambodian elite. Yet beneath these apparent signs of acceptance, there was a simmering discontent. The people of Battambang started to question the French authority, their cultural dominance, and the inequality it bred. This questioning gave birth to a wave of nationalist movements. Intellectuals and activists, educated in French but rooted in Khmer tradition, started to challenge the colonial rule. They used the tools given by the French, their language, their legal system, and their ideas about democracy and rights against them. They rallied the people, sparking a fervour for independence that began to sweep across the city. The French tried to quell this resistance, but the spirit of nationalism was too strong, too deeply rooted in the hearts of the people of Battambang. The city's culture, a unique blend of traditional Khmer and French influences, became a battleground, a space for negotiation and resistance. In this cultural clash, the people of Battambang didn't just resist the French, they reshaped their culture, creating a unique identity that was neither entirely Khmer nor French, but uniquely their own. The seeds of resistance were sown, setting the stage for Cambodia's fight for independence. After decades of rule, the French grip on Battambang and Cambodia began to loosen. As the first half of the 20th century unfolded, the winds of change began to blow across the Cambodian landscape. The Second World War weakened the French hold on its Indo-Chinese colonies, and the Japanese occupation of Cambodia during the war further destabilized French control. It was in this backdrop that the seeds of Cambodian nationalism started to germinate, and Battambang City was no exception to this wave of change. The rise of King Norodom Sihanouk, who ascended the throne in 1941, played a significant role in steering Cambodia towards independence. His charisma and diplomatic skills were instrumental in navigating the complex political landscape of the time. In Battambang, the city that had been transformed under French rule, the yearning for independence was palpable. The city's inhabitants, who had witnessed the architectural, economic and cultural changes brought about by the French, were now ready to shape their own destiny. As the 1940s drew to a close, the French were forced to grant more political freedoms to their colonies. In 1949, they recognized Cambodia's autonomy within the French Union, a move that was seen as a step towards full sovereignty. The city of Battambang, like the rest of Cambodia, was caught up in this momentum. The sense of anticipation was palpable, and the city's inhabitants prepared themselves for the dawn of a new era. Finally, on November 9, 1953, Cambodia gained full independence from France. It was a moment of jubilation and relief, not just for the people of Battambang, but for the entire nation. The city that had been shaped by French colonial rule was now free to chart its own course. The end of French rule in Battambang was not just about political change. It marked the end of an era that had seen the city transformed in numerous ways. It was about reclaiming the city's identity and taking control of its future. And so, the curtain fell on the French era in Battambang, leaving behind a city forever changed. Today, Battambang City stands as a living testament to its past. As we tread the path of present-day Battambang, we're gracefully greeted by the echoes of its rich history, from the grandeur of its architecture to the vibrancy of its culture and the dynamism of its economy. Every facet of this city reflects the indelible influence of the French colonial era. Picture the cityscape, adorned by a myriad of architectural marvels. The French colonial buildings, with their ornate facades and grand arches, continue to grace the city's skyline. These structures, once symbols of foreign rule, are now cherished landmarks, narrating tales of a bygone era. They've been repurposed and rejuvenated, housing chic cafes, art galleries, and bustling markets, becoming iconic symbols of a city that has embraced its past while forging its future. The city's culture too bears the imprints of its historical journey. The French influence permeates the local cuisine, with baguettes and pâtés being as ubiquitous as rice and fish. Yet, it's not just a tale of cultural assimilation, it's a story of resilience and adaptation. Battambang has ingeniously melded foreign influences with its rich Khmer heritage, creating a unique cultural tapestry that's distinctly its own. And let's not forget the city's economy. Once the stage of economic exploitation under the French rule, Battambang has emerged as a city thriving on its own terms. Its bustling markets, thriving tourism, and flourishing arts scene are testament to its resilience and entrepreneurial spirit. The city's historical legacy has become its greatest asset, attracting visitors from around the globe, eager to experience its unique blend of history and modernity. From the cobblestone streets to the bustling markets, from the grand colonial edifices to the lively arts scene, every corner of Battambang bears witness to its storied past. It's a city that has weathered the storms of history, yet has emerged stronger and more vibrant. It's a city that has learned to wear its history not as a burden, but as a badge of honor. Battambang, a city shaped by its history, continues to tell its story to those who walk its streets today.